くぞジェノサイカッタ
Hello everyone, what's happening? This is Forgo, and today we're going to talk about this pain in the frickin' rear spider robot. This game mode to me is the biggest pain in the frickin' rear in the game. I actually can't stand playing it, but you do want to try to play it so you can, in hopes to get some rewards. Now currently, right now I'm in gold 3. I was able to have a chance of receiving any of these rewards, which these silver imprint stones are actually good because you can get 2 stats that increase some kind of dot effect, maybe HP, maybe attack, and that's really good. You can get level 2, level 3 experience bottles, and so on and so on. And of course, the higher you go, the better rewards that you're going to get. And you can get these hammers as well. Not the best rewards, in all honesty. The amount of effort that you have to put into this game mode, the fact that you have to play it 3 different times, you can't even auto clear it after you do it the first time like you can Guild Raid, in my opinion, really isn't worth it. But I wanted to make a video. It's been a while since I talked about Spider Robot, and I wanted to make a video where I've improved my score quite a bit, and I believe improved the way that I do things. Now, this is the characters that I decided to use because they are my strongest characters. There is no type advantage to this boss. You just want to make sure you have chill and shock. And if you notice, Nameless doesn't have chill or shock. Guinness doesn't have chill or shock. Pretty Zero doesn't have chill or shock. Rock doesn't have chill or shock. And Ignis has shock. Now, I would put Geese in here, but the truth is, these 4 characters are just built stronger than... Well, actually, all these characters are just built stronger than Geese currently. Once I get Geese leveled up a little bit more, I might switch them out for one of the characters. But I don't know, man. These are really powerful characters. But what I've done is for all 5 of these characters, because Ignis has shock damage, and if you have a character that has shock damage, you want to just give him a Zhongfei card. So if your character doesn't have chill damage, just make sure that you put Zhongfei cards on each one. So for each card set, for each of these characters, I have 1 Zhongfei card, so we have that chance to apply that chill damage. That's very, very important because what it means is I can actually switch through my characters and I'm not so worried about breaking down the chill meter, therefore enabling me to do more damage throughout the fight without having to worry about which character I switch to. The other thing is you want to make sure that the characters you're using that don't have shock damage have a shock striker. Now, the one that I don't have is Rock. I'm going to have to give me a different shock striker. But Pretty Zero, I have a Zhongfei card on her. And then I got Maxima for a shock striker. Guinness, I have a Zhongfei card on him. And then I have Lady Ashiro for a shock striker. And then Xion is a shock striker as well. All of these strikers give the increased inflict damage equal to blah blah percent. Shock damage equal to blah blah percent of attack. And these really are amazing because the more attack your damage dealers have, the more shock damage you're actually dealing. Now, Ignis is an exception because he actually has shock damage on his kit, so just having a Zhongfei card in his card set is really useful. The Rock is just a character that is just, I have built very well with 2 imprint stones, and he has a long ultimate animation, and that's also very important for this because when you're doing those ultimate animations, it's going to stall the timer for one thing. It's going to enable you to do more damage. So hopefully the objective is that every time I use the Rock, that the meter is already broken for the shock or chill, and I'm able to apply that damage. Although I'll be honest with all of you, I'm not really going to be paying attention to that in the run. What I do is I just start with Nameless, and I just start working through the characters as I go. I just start going through each character. For example, Nameless, then Guinness, then Pretty Zero, then Rock, then Ignis, and then back to Nameless. And what you want to do essentially with your characters is you want to run through 1 rotation, 3 skills, and then on your 3rd skill, switch. Once you get your 3rd skill, switch to your next character. Bring in your strikers every single time. Bring in your strikers every single time, whether they're attack, whatever it may be, bring them in. And you'll do that 5 times. So you got 5 different characters. You'll do that 5 times. And then after that, you're going to run through either your 3 skills or you'll do 1 skill. As soon as their PG's ready, hit their PG, hit their ultimate skill, and then after their ultimate skill, do their 3 skills again, and then on the 3rd skill, switch to your next character. So essentially what you're doing is You're going to use the PG every time it's available. You're going to use your ultimate skills every time they're available. As soon as they're available, always bring in your strikers every single time. As soon as your ultimate skill is available, hit your freaking ultimate skill, and once it finishes, hit your awakened skill if you need to use your skills, or if your skills are ready. For example, the Rock, he has an 8-second ultimate. After his ultimate, I can always do his first, second, and third skill. So you'll notice that I probably won't hit his awakened skill. Whereas with Ignis, he has long cooldowns. Maybe I will for him. Pretty Zero, she has long cooldowns. Maybe I will for her, and so on and so on. Ginitz, probably not. He has a long ultimate skill. And the same with Nameless. You know, Nameless, Ginitz, and Rock, after they do their ultimate skills, you can do their 3 skills afterwards. And then after you do their S3, their skill 3, switch to another character. As soon as you hit that skill 3, switch to another character because the damage will carry on. You'll do like simultaneous damage at the same time. Now, this is the score that I was able to get. Right now, I'm ranked 21. When I did my run, I believe I was ranked 19. This is the best that I've done, and these are some really, really well-built characters. You know, my Nameless does have the KS set. Of course, we have the Zhongfei card. We do have 2 Imprint stones. We got a PG Ray stone. This stone is actually quite useless. I mean, it's okay, but Nameless has so much PG rate from his core. He really doesn't need this. Really, you'd want burn damage for a purple defensive character. A gold Imprint stone here would be much better for him. But I have this PG stone on him for the other Immortal dungeon runs. I find that he's more useful doing that, so I kind of stick with that. I might end in the future, I might end up switching Nameless for another character. Like Geese, maybe if I build up Geese to level 50, get him jacked up a little bit, get another Imprint stone on him, then I might switch him for him because he would have shock damage, and I could use my Striker somewhere else. I could use Xion Striker for someone else, like Rock. Ignis here, you know, level 50, 1 Imprint stone. I do have a Tekken set on him. We got the Zhongfei card. And the beautiful thing about Ignis is he does have shock damage. Rock, we have the Leah set. And then we have a Zhongfei card on him as well. You really want a shock damage striker for the Rock. And then Pretty Zero, we have the Noah set with the Zhongfei card. And then for Ginitz, we have the Akane set. I really should have put the Akane set either on Ignis or because I have 2 sets on Ignis or Pretty Zero, but it is what it is. I've already done the runs and I have a Zhongfei card on him. So all your characters that don't have chill, now if you have a character that does chill like Kula, then you just want to make sure they have a shock damage striker and so on and so on and so on. But you want to use your strongest characters available. And if you notice, all of these characters that I'm using, except for Nameless, are all attack. These are all the highest damage dealing characters pretty much in the game. Pretty Zero, Ginitz, yeah, and Mr. Karate. If you have Mr. Karate, he's going to be absolutely insane for this. So I really would love to switch Mr. Karate for Nameless, have a shock damage striker, and then put a Zhongfei card on Mr. Karate. Or you could use the Shermie card that adds shock damage, put the Shermie card on him, and then have a cold damage striker, and so on and so on. But this game mode really is a freaking absolute nightmare. And it was pretty funny, you know, the first run I did, I had like 95 million. Then the next run I had 108 million. Then the next run I ended up getting 116 million. And you see my ranks are dropping pretty quickly. I done this early on in the day. So there's going to be plenty of players that's going to whoop me up. You can see when you look at the ranking info, I mean, shout out to Duo, Keo, and Den. I mean, Jesus, 434.5 million. Wow. And I do think that the run that I did wasn't perfect. You know, at first it started out pretty good, but then towards the end, I wasn't really switching my characters. Like, again, when you bring your character in, you do 3 skills, you know, make sure you do their ultimate skill, and then afterwards do their 3 skills. And when you do those 3 skills, make sure on the 3rd skill after you hit it, switching your character. And I wasn't doing that optimally. I wasn't quite timing it correctly. I believe that I could do much better than what I'm doing. But the thing is, in this game mode, I'm just not that motivated, and I think a lot of players aren't. But I wanted to make another video about it because I feel like this was a much better run and a better explanation of what you need to do. So let's get into the action and let's rock and roll. So watch what I do. I'm just going to run. I'm going to bring in Xion and I'm going to run through my 3 skills. Here we go. I'm going to switch as soon as I did that 3rd skill. As soon as I do that last skill, I'm going to switch. There we go. And I really could be a little bit faster on my reactions here. A little bit faster. I think that's something that's kind of holding me back. But I do play on a controller. It's kind of a pain sometimes when, using all the different directions. And there you see, now I'm going to use my 3PG. This is the second rotation. I use my 3PG. After I do the 3PG, I'm going to do my 3 skills afterwards. So we're going to do 3 skills. We're going to do 1, 2, and then the third skill switch to another character. And just like that. Okay. Now, I didn't bring in, I should have gotten Lady Maxima in there. I didn't quite get her in there before the 5PG, but I'm going to bring her in now. Okay. And there I brought her in. There we go. Rock. There we go. And Rock right now is actually doing shock damage to the Spider Robot because of the Striker from Maxima. And, the thing about this game mode is it's just so much switching and so much paying attention to the characters, what skills they have available, when to use those skills. And in my opinion, I think the Spider Robot is the most difficult PvE game mode in the game. I absolutely hate it. It's an absolute nightmare to do this skill. And there I'll do, and with Ignis, you got to kind of move him around a little bit because, boy, he's fragile. Even at level 50, mother of God, I mean, even with a recovery stone on him, he dies so easy. That's kind of the bad thing about him. But, his damage is absolutely insane. See right there, I kind of did a couple, basics. Maybe I should have switched my character a little bit sooner there. And that's what I mean. This isn't a perfect run. I really believe that I could gain quite a few points with a little bit better gameplay, but I'm just not going to do that. I played this quite a bit today trying to get better at it, and I did get better at it because when I first started doing this with the same teams, I was only doing about 90 million. So to be able to jump it up to 118 million was a pretty massive upgrade. I really wasn't playing it correctly at all in the beginning, and I wanted to try to improve. But there's definitely still room for improvement for me. I definitely can do better at this, but I think I'm just going to wait till I awaken characters a little bit more. I might practice this a little bit more also to try to get better at it. You notice I just got the 5PG from Ignis. I'm using the 5PG immediately, and then right after the 5PG, I'll run through 3 skills. On the 3rd skill, I'll switch to my next character. Okay, now I don't know why I used my awaken skill. Didn't really need to, but it doesn't matter. Here we go, and then switch. Okay, and with Pretty Zero, because she has long cooldowns, you might have to hit your awakened skill after you use them. So you saw I still had 2-3 seconds left on my cooldowns. I mean, really, I think I should have just put the damn Leah set on someone like Pretty Zero or Ignis. I think that's what I'm going to do. Next time I'm going to put the Leah set maybe on her because they have long cooldowns, and I think the Leah set would be better for characters that have those long cooldowns because the Leah set does have 34% attack and reflect. So it really helps your damage. But to be like Rock, you definitely don't want a Leah set on him. I'm actually running with a Leah set. And, that's kind of my mistake. I thought it would be better, but no, I don't think so in hindsight after watching this. I don't think it is better because, look, his skills are ready after the 5PG or the 3PG. And in this game mode, that's what you want. After you do that the 3PG or 5PG, whatever, you want those skills to be ready. Go. And obviously you're trying to do like, for example, in Pretty Zero's case, you want to do her 5PG because it's such a nice long skill. But it really is a nightmare. You see, I just got my 5PG ready. Boom, I hit the 5PG and then run through my 3 skills again. But I am proud of this run, even though I do feel like, especially after looking at it now, that I could have done better. I could have put that Leah set on Pretty Zero or Ignis. I think that would have actually helped. And especially Pretty Zero. And I also think that I just need to time things a little bit better as far as bringing in my next characters. But you just always want to make sure you're bringing in those strikers every single time. If they're on cooldown, that's one thing. But right there, like with Nameless, I could have hit his 3PG. I could hit that 3PG as default 3PG and could have done a little bit more damage. So that was another mistake that I actually made right there. It's funny when you watch your runs afterwards, you're like, oh man, I could have done this, I could have done that. But when you're in the moment and you're actually playing, it's a lot easier said than done, to be perfectly honest. When I originally made a video about this game mode, I was talking about, you need to break the meteor. It says increased damage received when chilled, and I talked about all that. But it's really, I think, a lot easier just knowing that, hey, just put a Zhong Fei card on any character that doesn't have cold damage. And if they don't have shock damage, make sure they have a shock damage striker with a Zhong Fei card. There we go. Go. And see, right now we're killing some time, but we didn't have much time. I should have switched to Guinness there. Like, I really think that I could probably hit 140, 150 million, honestly, with a better run. I really do. But again, the effort that you have to put into this game mode, the amount of time that you spend playing it, it just, to me, it just isn't worth it. And there I could have hit Ignis's 3PG. I just didn't quite get it. Ran out of time. But 116 million, you see, I actually placed 18th, which was pretty good. But this game mode really is a whale mode if I've ever saw one. To be perfectly honest with all you guys, it really is. You need some damn strong characters. And in all honesty, you need some really good gameplay along with it. So hopefully this will help some of you out there. So let me know if you're actually running this game mode, if you're not, and what characters you're using, the kind of scores you're able to put up. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.